Time for map number 2. It is BNK and Arcade Esports taking one another on in ESL Challenger League Season 47 Oceania. Wasn't a particularly fun day at the office for Arcade on Nuke. We'll see what BNK is going to be able to rustle up on this CT side to kick things off and see if they can find themselves the clean 2-0 tonight.
Yeah, Arcade starting off a bit more of a defaulty kind of pistol, having a look in towards second mid, listening out for any aggression on mid or banana, but after not really seeing anything, they're going to take this space for free. Having a look towards carpet side as well. Just a decoy to try to dissuade the CTs from peeking the lines here, and Wombat just spotting out a bit of info ready with the reactive smoke there. He's going to be baited out to throw that by just a single decoy grenade, so good start from Arcade, getting good use out of the decoys.
Yeah, patience a virtue for Arcade in this round. I mean, they have bled out that CT util, which is a good sign because they've obviously still been able to hang on to theirs. So they're going to be ready for a full execute. But Addict's been able to execute Void. Fantastic timing. He's also not spotted too much out in the apartments there, so he's going to kind of get on his bike over toward B, and there's already 3 players stacked over on that bomb site. Hazard claiming one head. Well, it's not a bad setup for Arcade, but it's kind of fallen apart a little bit, and that ends up being a very clean pistol round for BNK.
Yeah, I mean, again, for Arcade, it's a similar kind of story, unfortunately, to what we saw on Nuke. It's like, their approach is not bad. They got pretty much all the map control you'd want for free. They got both Carps and Banana, and they bled out the CT util by only using decoy grenades. But when it comes to actually converting the mid to late round, they just can't getting smacked away by BNK. And credit where credit's due, you know, despite all of the work that Arcade does in the early to mid round, both on Nuke and then in that pistol round, you know, BNK is ready with well-timed aggression. That's another great example of it. Flash is scaled over the top of second mid, and it's a pretty free anti-eco mop-up there for all of BNK. That's the way I love to see my eco rounds go. Let's just skip that, get into the first gun round in round number 3.
Yeah, well, fair enough. Arcade going to jump straight into the full bite. 5 rifles, no AWP in sight just yet. What are they going to be able to rustle up? I wonder if BNK are going to try something quick again. They do have 2 MP9s. But on Inferno, it is one of those maps where you can still make pretty good use of that weapon. A lot of close range angles, that nade as well. Softening a couple of the targets up. Big nade stacked down Banana as well, and already Arcade. You're just seeing the ugliness, really, that is Inferno rear its head again. Cannot be anywhere near Banana at the start of the round.
Info denial smoke on Banana from Arcade as they look to contest bracket side. Pretty dry contact approach. Anti-flash completely caught out is Addict. Damio not able to, or rather Hazard not able to do too much. It's Damio to clean up the majority there from jungle side. Really nicely. He's now solo on this A site though until Brace is able to get into a decent position over on Library, but only with an MP9. He won't luckily have to do too much. Very winnable 1-on-2 for Void now.
Certainly is. Your Wombat has got himself an AK, 25 bullets, no need to reload. That's fantastic news. But he might just catch Void in transition here around that smoke, though he expects him already in the pit. And that will be enough to give Void the advantage in the duel. 2-1 the scoreline. Similar start to what we saw on Nuke.
Much needed clutch for Arcade. Didn't win many of those clutches on Nuke, so that's a big one, especially to put pressure on the CT economy early on. Gonna make round 4 a pretty big swing round. No cash in the bank for either team. 1900 loss bonus apiece. AWP comes out for Damio. He's gonna bring that over onto Banana side. Progression smoke and Molly to deny info and space to the CT side on Banana. Kobe gonna walk up behind that. And over here on carpet side, Arcade just going to silently jump up. So pretty slow defaulting round for Arcade. Haven't really started to contest any major map control. Yeah, combination with Molly on Sandbag. They've taken Banana here. Retake util. Affected by Arcade. Ooh, fell boost as well. They wanted to try to punish BNK from walking back into main, and now they're not able to.
Hazard is going to get that molly down on a perfect timing. Just as the util gets tossed in by Arcade, it's only Triplus that gets into brackets. He'll be spotted out as well by BNK, and there's another molly though. This one will come through perhaps a little too late. Smoked off anyway by Arcade. Now it's Addict around that smoke. That's going to be the first 2 strike. MP9 good for 1.5. And Brace with the M4 for 2. It's just Triplus indeed on 2 that is going to end up being finished off by Hazard. So quite the clean-up by BNK. 3-1 the score. And Arcade are in a bit of trouble now.
Yeah, double mollies over on Jungle's side there for Hazard. Really puts Arcade in a bad position. You can see they had a plan in mind that really gets broken up by the Incendiaries. Really well timed. As well as that bait setup over on Balcony. Not something they were ready for at all. It's the little things that BNK does really well that really break up the plans for Arcade. Straight out middle. Bit of a shooting gallery for Damio and Hazard. And another eco round that goes by in 10 seconds flat. I'm not complaining. It's going to be pretty good for the BNK economy, though. They are very comfy on this CT side now.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the fact that Arcade are getting through these eco rounds pretty quick. Call that a win. But how about a gun round? Let's see how this one plays out. This is a fast attempt at Banana, and BNK haven't really done a whole lot to stop that. It's going to be a bit of chip damage onto Foggers and Kobe, but Sandbags has been taken by Arcade.
There's the molly trying to push them forward into Brace's line. Respected for the time being by Arcade. Aggression from BNK though. Flash off the half wall, and that is an absolute mop-up. Every time Arcade look to take space somewhere. Oh, hold on. Whiff shot from Damio. That could make things a little more interesting.
Oh.
HE going to continue to harass them, but with no smoke over on CT side. They actually double smoked across there, but has a flying pressure, and Damio not needing too much help on the ult there. After the initial whiff shot, he's able to calibrate his zoom settings a bit better over on Newbox and gets it done.
Yep. Yeah, this map looking even more dominant than the last almost.
Yeah. I mean, these util sets and protocols that BNK are doing, like the small reads that they're making, is just kind of ripping Arcade apart. All of the little plays that they've learnt and, you know, experienced from playing overseas is doing them a lot of favors right now, BNK. Arcade just really doesn't seem to have an answer. Like, they have an approach, they have a game plan, and then they get caught in the mid-round by, you know, retake banana util set, or mollies thrown on jungle side by Hazard, or even a cheeky little bait setup. And they just don't really seem to be able to have an answer. This is going to be another pretty quick eco round off the back of some pretty basic reactive utility.
Well, I might just stop you there, because I think Triplus and Void are going to take it a little slower now. And that will blow the timer out a little bit. They've got a deagle apiece, so they're going to try to look to work a bit of damage, try to find a pick or two, but even that isn't really going to trouble BNK at this point, because they've got so much cash.
So look, can't say I'm too surprised by the performance from Arcade tonight. Like they haven't been doing particularly well in the league. I don't think the lineup is too awe-inspiring on paper. And look, BNK have got some pretty good international experience at the moment. And look, the player they've got standing in tonight is playing quite well. So, I mean, what can you really say? Lot of contests happening on Banana so far for this game. And BNK leading quite heavily towards carpets. They were trying to break the default of Arcade, who have been showing a lot of presence in carpets, but this time Arcade bringing more players over towards Banana. It's just your Wombat left in this retake position.
Oh, the spam from your Wombat almost claims one. Maybe the nade from Damio or Hazard will be able to clean that frag up. Bomb plant won't quite be denied. Almost went full Aussie for a moment there. Denied. Can you imagine if he denied the bomb plant?
Oh my god, it's a 5-on-5 retake, Jordan.
No way. Sometimes, you know, I've just moved back to Brisbane and that Queensland accent's starting to come through. 4-on-5 and Kobe, I mean, he might not quite be a full member at this point in time because he is only on 11 HP. So not long for this world. Hazard will clean him up and then a couple more as well. Try plus down. Defuse is on. Oh, it's not looking too good though for BNK. Damio's missed the shot and Apoc done. Has won the round. That was actually, honestly, very reminiscent of a round that you cast back at IEM Sydney.
Was it? I don't even remember what round you're talking about.
I'm talking about the rush clutch from that exact same position, exact same circumstance, same bomb plant. Damio in CT couldn't cover it. So if you go back and watch the round, that was a much more sped up version of it, but it was the same kind of thing.
I think that was a lot of CT whiffage, honestly. Yeah. Should never have been allowed to happen. But at the end of the day, it's one of those rounds for BNK where they've got $1 million in the bank accounts, and taking all the guns away from Arcade there is not the worst thing in the world, to be honest. Because they could actually get a reset here now on the T-side economy. Arcade kind of just simplifying a lot of these rounds now. You can see they were going for a bit more of a defaulty approach. Now they're kind of just going for hard side executes. This util on the A side of the map, though, is making their life absolutely miserable. Everywhere they go, they're just getting util dumped at the perfect timings.
Yeah, that nade comes through a little bit too late, though, and has actually allowed Kobe across. But in answer to that, BNK have taken so much map control in toward T-spawn, and they're not seeing a whole lot there, so it's going to send Brace scurrying back over toward A. And you're already there, and already having a bit of an impact. A good trade from Hazard. Doesn't seem like Arcade are going to be getting away with anything.
I don't really think there's much to say today for Arcade, to be honest, Jordan. I think it's going to be a pretty similar kind of scenario in the Asia match later on. It's just a bit of a skill diff in the server between teams of different tiers in their region, really.
Yeah. That's fair to say.
I mean, I don't know. BNK are looking really good tonight.
I think so. But then again, Arcade is not the tippy top of the ANZ CS scene, so you do have to sort of take that into account as well. Damier's been pretty solid with the AWP though, hasn't he? 14 and 2. There's another one for him. Ooh.
Yeah.
Dude can do no wrong at the moment.
It is against a lower level team, but I know that's the thing. I've seen Damio have some good maps with the AWP. The thing is, I think Damio has got secondary AWPer syndrome. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he really does. Like, there's so many play. Like, I used to think I could be an AWPer, and then I actually tried to be a primary AWPer, and I was terrible. It's like sometimes you play an official, you play a couple scrims, and you're picking up the secondary AWP, and you're like, man, I'm feeling it. Like on this map, this particular half, you know, when things are going right, I dominate with you all. But then, like, you know, the rest of the time, you're just kind of getting owned. Or you play a decent team that knows actually, like, much better util, makes your life a lot harder, makes it harder for you to get a pick, and suddenly you're not doing so hot.
Oh, well, that is
Dear God.
very clean indeed from B&K. There's just nothing for Arcade to do, is there?
It's just so, it's like, it's very sad to watch this kind of game. It's because, like, they're trying, you know, they're coming up bracket together. They're trying to do stuff together, and they're just getting owned.
Well, another one.
Well, let's see if RK can get a third for themselves. Not the best buy in the world. Apop does got a Techers. Molly's layered into bottom, mid, and banana. You're not getting into banana anytime soon, but you'll take an opening pick. Definitely won't be complaining about that.
Got to do something with it, though, if you're Arcade here. Can't really be affording a 10-2 half. Not a whole lot of coming back from that. Going to be walking into Hazza, who, for his own right, is 13-2. Playing that balcony position. Going to have to work through that smoke. Does fade. Pogdud's on his way. Hazza only gets himself the 1-for-1, so Addict is under a bit of pressure here. He's trying to play anti-flash and trying to give Brace a lot of that responsibility. That'll work out for at least one, but he needs far more than that. Perhaps even a third required. Oh, couldn't quite hold on for the fourth. But you get the sense that he might have done enough here to get this one into the back pocket for Damio. The only question is, will Damio expect the push? It seems that he might be cognizant of that fact, and he has figured it out. 10-2. Again, B&K dominant in the first half. Well, it is 10-2. B&K looking like they might get the job done here on Inferno in a pretty quick affair once again over Arcade Esports. But the pistol round might change that possibility a little. I have to imagine, though, B&K on this T-side pistol will be quite swift about things.
Straight up banana. Damio's been raid bossed. Playing with full confidence. A bit of info for Foggers. Jump spotting app set. But it's a pretty slow split approach here for B&K. Not in a rush to go anywhere. Arcade just giving Kobe a full util set to play retake B here and stacking up on A. Most heavily towards bracket. Smoke drawn out there for Damio. Doesn't see anything else.
Foggers is getting a bit of info, but he has lost control of apartments and has had to fall off, and that is going to give B&K the opportunity to let Hazza have a little bit of a peek.
Util's pretty spread across the map here. They do have some in carps. Smoke committed and flash committed, so at least 2 towards B, if not more, is the read here. It's going to draw the rotation across from Apoc Dud. In the meanwhile, B&K looking to potentially walk out carpets. They're making a lot of noise. And actually, with Breaks making it across towards the barbecue here, actually going to commit to the B side rotate and leave Hazza on the lurk in carps.
Decent start for Kobe there. This is maybe starting to get a little bit awkward for B&K, though. Hazza is starting to be able to recover things, and then he himself will fall, though the problem is the rotation will get cut off by Addict, and now Apoc Dud and Kobe, both having been gooshed, not too keen to take these fights. Brace will continue to stick around, and Apoc Dud is still hitting heads, so I guess it doesn't matter how much HP he's got. Addict is doing work on the pistol, but he is going to have to scurry. And indeed, you're right, he will have no time to win the round. That one just got maybe a little bit more chaotic than B&K would have liked it to have.
They just couldn't group and commit to an exec in the late round. Like, they overcomplicated that round way too much. Because they got that free space on B, and then they started to lose picks. Like, not really sure what the approach was meant to be. I think if they just committed to, like, the B fake into the walkout carps, probably would have worked a bit better. But they second-guessed themselves when they got control of barbecue that easily. And that's where things got a little bit too hectic, unfortunately. Forced by in round 2, though, B&K, despite not getting the bomb plant, are going to give this round, 14th round a crack. Waiting out the util and banana. They've been smoked off. Should be some retake util for B&K here. They've thrown a jungle side smoke. Re-smoke on banana. They've only got one flash to make their way through the map. So they actually can't really contest these kind of smokes. They have to kind of just respect them.
It's not a bad start. B&K going to swiftly work their way into that B bomb site, and they'll get there before anyone from Arcade can really do anything about it. Good damage from Apoc Dud, but maybe not quite enough. Olga's attempting to deny that bomb plant. Hasn't quite been able to find the damage that he needed, though. Hazza will burn alive to the molly of Triplus. There is at least some success for Arcade, though retaking this bomb site is going to be tough. And Brace, once again, on a big old flank. We saw him try to do that on Nuke. He got in a little bit too late in that case, but here he's had a little bit more time to work. We'll see if he can have any kind of an impact. Addict will go down. Now it's on to Damio. And, well, unfortunately for Brace, he's actually smoked out of the bomb site by his own team's smoke. Not that it really mattered in the end anyway. It faded and he died 10-4. A nice bite at the cherry for B&K, but it turned out to be a little too much to handle.
2 Famous is saved over. I think B&K may consider the force here with Galil armor. Have a chance to break the sticky side economy. At a minimum, it's going to be pistol investments. Keep that CT economy honest, but indeed, yeah, they're going to go for the buy here. Rifles and no head armor, or Galils and armor. This will be a hard reset on that. Probably just the end.
Once again,
May
being
pop gun.
yeah, they're just going to try and sort of force the issue, but Arcade are not really having a bar of it.
I mean, that's the downside of not buying head armor on T side there. Pretty easy pickings for the A1S. Banana controls taken here by Addict, but he's been shut out by the CT util set. Tries to deny info to them by putting out the molly. Will work his way back to this A side of the map. As they're spotting out that dig player. And B&K going to group up towards this A site.
He's not going to check the cutout. Addict pretty sharp on the trade there, though, and that has worked out pretty nicely indeed for B&K. It was an awkward-looking situation. As long as they get rid of Void, though, it turns in their favor, and once again, B&K just looking sharp enough to get through these sticky situations, which leaves Arcade now in one of their own. Foggers and Kobe haven't really been having a great game here, and I don't even know if you go for this. I mean, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. If you do go for it, you probably lose your guns, you probably lose the game. But if you don't go for it, well, you're giving up an 11th round for free, and Arcade can't really afford that. So Foggers is going to have a little bit of a crack here, but time's running away, and they will have to give that 11th round over to B&K.
I had the kids, so it was a very doable retake, but A site notoriously difficult to retake. And that's going to be a hard reset on the CT economy. Void and Tri Plus double eco. 2 guns saved over. Could drop a MP9 or a FAMAS maybe, something like that. But again, Arcade starting on the T side, not getting enough damage done really in the first half, and then trying to chase a scoreline deficit on the CT side with almost no room for error. Exactly what happened really on Nuke, and once again not really fragging well enough across the board to contest this match against B&K. It's pretty much the same story again. Good util set to isolate brace.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not been easy going for B&K on this T side so far. They've had to work for a lot of these rounds. That's a very nice shot from Addict, though.
Look, I think the aggression necessary, even in the 5-on-4 for Arcade, just given the fact that they have weaker guns and not much util left over in that scenario, but that was not the timing to go for it. And actually, they've lost both of those B picks without really anything too special going on there, you know? They did need to aggress probably in the mid-round, but they needed to do something a bit more coordinated than that, I think.
Plan will go down, though. And in the 2-on-4, I don't really have a huge amount of faith for Arcade Esports, as it's not even going to be 2, and you again find yourself in that awkward spot where it's like, well, I have no option really but to save, but that doesn't feel very good. And so I'd say we're winding down this series as every second passes.
FAMAS safe avoid. It's a bit of a wooden spoon prize, unfortunately. So that's been great form from B&K tonight. From pretty much everyone, Wombat included.
Yep. Standard day at the office really for B&K in a matchup like this one. But I still wonder where this roster is going. Who's that fifth going to be? Or is this the core five now? And Daniel's just the AWPer. I mean, it hasn't been a bad shout from him. We'll see. A bit messy in the attempt to take brackets in this round, but that has given Brace a little bit of a hole to slip through. A re-aggression actually in towards middle, and Apocdud was spotted out before he kind of got away with anything, and that'll be that pretty much. Kobe, the last man standing, 2v1, MP9, has to try to clutch it out, and he's not going to have a huge amount of time to do it. Addict is going to get that bomb plant down pretty quick, smart. Kobe doesn't have a defuse kit. He's on the move and can't afford to pick up any of these weapons lest he make any noise, which means he's going to have to do it with the MP9, and I just don't think that's got the stopping power that he needs to win this round. This would have to be a monumental mishap for BNK to lose the round from here. Although I have seen similar things at a DreamHack Melbourne at one point. So let's see what Kobe can do. Not the same as what Advent did all those years ago, but it is BNK 13-4 to finish the night off, and they do secure the 2-0, which was very much in line with expectations this evening.
Yeah, I think for Arcade, like, they've got some decent approaches. They definitely try to play CS the right way, and honestly, that's what I want to see more and more in the Oz region. It's why I was kind of a big fan of the Vantage roster coming up. And